Welcome to my channel Super Rare Coins. Today is best top 3 coins. Please don't skip this video. So let's get it started. The 1986 1 penny coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a British decimal coin belonging to the modern 1 penny denomination introduced as part of the United Kingdom's decimalisation in 1971. This coin carries a face value of 1 penny, 1/100th of a pound sterling, and was part of everyday coinage circulating throughout the UK during the 1980s. By 1986, the 1 penny coin was an essential low-denomination currency used extensively in retail transactions, vending, and daily commerce. It served as the successor to the pre-decimal penny, which had much higher intrinsic value. Its size, weight, and composition were designed to suit the decimal system, remaining small yet distinctive for easy handling by the public. The obverse side of the coin features the third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Raphael Maclauff. This design was introduced in 1985 and was used until 1997. The portrait depicts the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a ceremonial crown encrusted with diamonds and pearls symbolizing her formal and dignified presence on British coinage. The around the portrait reads Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1986, which is an abbreviation of the Latin Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, meaning Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen Defender of the Faith. This obverse marks a period of transition in the monarch's image, presenting her in a mature, stately manner reflecting the era of her middle reign. The reverse side of the 1986 1 penny coin features the crown portcullis design, a heraldic symbol associated with the Palace of Westminster, Houses of Parliament. The design shows a portcullis gate with chains surmounted by a crown signifying Parliament's authority and the constitutional traditions of the United Kingdom. Around the design is the denomination 1 penny, with the numeral 1 positioned below the portcullis. This design was created by Christopher Ironside, who developed the original decimal coin reverse designs in the late 1960s. The portcullis symbolizes the government and the nation's legislative foundation, making it a fitting choice for this low-value yet highly symbolic coin. In 1986, the 1 penny coin was struck in bronze, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It has a standard diameter of 20.3 mm, a thickness of 1.52 mm, and a mass of 3.56 grams. The coin features a plain edge, as do all modern 1 penny coins. It was produced at the Royal Mint in large quantities for general circulation, using high-speed coin presses to meet the demand for small change in the British economy. At this time, the bronze composition remained standard before the change to copper-plated steel in 1992, which made later pennies magnetic. The mintage of the 1986 1 penny coin was substantial, with hundreds of millions produced to support widespread use. Exact figures indicate that the mintage was approximately 601,400,000 pieces, making it a common coin in circulation during its era. It was not issued as a commemorative, but as part of the standard circulating series. In addition to the circulation, strike-proof and uncirculated versions were also struck in limited quantities for collectors packaged in official Royal Mint sets. These special strike coins often possess superior luster and sharper details compared to the mass-produced coins. During the mid-1980s, the 1 penny coin played a crucial role in everyday British commerce. It was frequently used for small purchases in vending machines and as change for minor retail transactions. Public attitudes toward the penny at the time were neutral. It was seen as a useful but low-value coin, often collected in jars or piggy banks. Due to its bronze composition, the coin was relatively durable and retained its reddish hue when new, though it often darkened or developed verdigris after extended circulation. The 1 penny coin's design was easily recognized and rarely counterfeited, making it a reliable denomination. Numismatic value and collectability. From a numismatic perspective, the 1986 1 penny coin is classified as a common date. Circulated examples generally hold only their face value due to the enormous mintage. However, coins in uncirculated or proof condition, especially those still in their original mint packaging, can attract collectors. Prices for high-grade uncirculated coins may range slightly above face value, with proof versions valued higher depending on the market and condition. Error coins from this year, Ms. Strikes Off Center Strikes or double dies, can command premium prices among specialist collectors. Historical and cultural context. The 1986 issue represents a period of relative economic stability in the UK under the government of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. The coinage system at the time was well established, with the 1 penny coin being a familiar presence in wallets, tills, and cash registers nationwide. This coin also belongs to the early years of the Raphael Maclauff portrait era. marking a stylistic shift from the more modest portraits of the 1970s and early 1980s to a more regal and decorative style. Many people alive today still recall handling this exact coin in everyday transactions, making it a nostalgic relic of the late 20th century transition to modern pennies. The 1986 penny is part of the bronze series that lasted until 1992, when rising copper prices and cost efficiency led to the transition to copper-plated steel coins. As a result, pennies from 1971–1992 are often categorized as Bronze-era pennies, and collectors sometimes seek full sets of these. After 1992, pennies became lighter, magnetic, and cheaper to produce, marking the 1986 version as a representative of the classic heavy bronze type. Next, the 1981 one-penny coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a decimal coin from the United Kingdom's currency system. It carries a denomination of 1 penny equal to 1/100th of a pound sterling, 1 penny, and was introduced to serve as part of the decimalization program that started in 1971. The 1981 issue belongs to the first generation of decimal pennies, which had been in circulation for just a decade at that time. This coin was intended for everyday use in commerce and retained the traditional symbolism of British currency, blending both modern practicality and heritage. It remained a staple of British change, commonly used in retail, transport, and various vending systems throughout the early 1980s. The obverse of the 1981 penny features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin OBE, a renowned sculptor who created this design for decimal coinage introduced in 1968. The portrait depicts the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, which was a wedding gift to Princess Elizabeth in 1947. This portrait had been in use since 1971 and continued until 1984, making it highly recognizable during this period. Around the effigy runs the Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. FOD 1981, which stands for Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, Latin for Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen Defender of the Faith. This elegant and simple portrait reflects a youthful monarch in a dignified style, symbolizing continuity and stability in British governance. The reverse design of the coin features the crown portcullis, a heraldic emblem traditionally associated with the Palace of Westminster and British governance. This symbol is deeply tied to the history of Parliament and represents security and authority. The design was created by Christopher Ironside, the artist responsible for most of the initial decimal coin reverse motifs. The portcullis is surmounted by a royal crown with chains extending from either side of the gate, signifying strength and fortification. The denomination 1 penny is inscribed around the top, while the numeral 1 appears beneath the portcullis. This design has become iconic and was retained on 1 penny coins for decades, embodying Britain's constitutional and parliamentary traditions. Specifications and physical details. The 1981 1 penny coin is struck in bronze and alloy, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. The coin measures 20.3 millimeters in diameter, with a thickness of approximately 1.52 millimeters and a weight of 3.56 grams. It has a plain edge, which is characteristic of all UK pennies since decimalization. This bronze composition gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown color when new, although coins tend to darken over time due to oxidation. In terms of feel and durability, the bronze alloy ensured longevity even under heavy circulation, making it a cost-effective and reliable choice for small-denomination currency. Minting and production details. The Royal Mint produced the 1981 1 penny coin in extremely large numbers for circulation, as pennies were in high demand for day-to-day transactions and retail pricing that often involved fractions of a pound. The total mintage exceeded 600 million pieces, making it a very common coin in circulation at the time. In addition to standard circulation, strikes proof and uncirculated specimens were produced for collectors as part of annual mint sets. These collector pieces were struck to a much higher standard with mirror-like fields and sharper details compared to ordinary circulation coins. During the early 1980s, the 1 penny coin was widely used in British commerce. It played an essential role in pricing and change-making, particularly as many goods and services were priced to the penny. The penny was also a familiar feature of British pocket change and often accumulated in small jars or coin trays in homes and shops. Because of its bronze composition, the coin remained durable despite heavy use. However, over time, circulated coins developed a darker patina or greenish tarnish due to the copper content reacting with environmental factors, collectability, and market value. In terms of collectability, the 1981 1 penny coin is considered a common date with little premium in circulated condition because of its enormous mintage. Most examples are worth only their face value unless they are in exceptional uncirculated condition or part of a proof set. Proof specimens, however, are more desirable and command higher prices among collectors, especially if housed in original Royal Mint packaging. Error coins from this year, such as misaligned strikes blank planchets or double dies, are rare and can significantly increase the coin's value. For specialists' historical context and economic significance, the year 1981 fell within the period of Margaret Thatcher's government, a time of significant economic reform and political change in the United Kingdom. The one-penny coin, though a low-value denomination, was symbolic of stability in the British monetary system. At that time, the cost of producing the coin was still lower than its face value, allowing the penny to remain viable as circulating currency. The 1981 issue, with its enduring Mackin portrait, served as a familiar piece of change during a decade of both continuity and transformation in British society. The 1981 penny belongs to the original bronze series, which continued until 1992, when the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel for cost efficiency and to introduce a magnetic property for machine sorting. Therefore, the 1981 issue is often collected as part of the classic bronze penny series, covering the period from 1971 to 1992. These bronze coins are heavier and non-magnetic, making them distinct from their later counterparts, which were lighter and magnetic. Next, the 1979 one-penny coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is part of the United Kingdom's decimal coinage system, which was officially introduced in 1971 to replace the pre-decimal currency. The one-penny coin represents 1/100th of a pound sterling, 1 penny, and was minted primarily for circulation. By 1979, the penny had become an essential part of daily commerce, used widely for small transactions, retail pricing, and vending machines. It carried forward the visual symbolism of Britain's parliament and monarchy, while embracing the modern decimal system, which had now become firmly established in the UK's monetary culture. Obverse design, Queen Elizabeth II portrait. The obverse of the 1979 penny bears the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the acclaimed sculptor Arnold Mackin OBE. This portrait was first introduced in 1968 and used on decimal coins from 1971 to 1984. The design features the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a royal heirloom gifted to her upon marriage in 1947. The surrounding the effigy reads, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1979. An abbreviation of the Latin Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, meaning Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen Defender of the Faith. This portrait represents a youthful and serene monarch during the early stages of her long reign, and it became one of the most familiar depictions on British coins for over a decade. Reverse design, crown portcullis. The reverse of the coin showcases the crown portcullis with chains, a traditional heraldic emblem associated with the Palace of Westminster, where the Houses of Parliament sit. This motif symbolizes Britain's legislative heritage and constitutional strength. The design was created by Christopher Ironside, who was responsible for the reverse motifs of the first decimal coins introduced in 1971. Above the design, the 1 penny is prominently displayed, while the numeral 1 appears below the portcullis. The design was chosen for its simplicity, recognizability, and historic resonance. Specifications and physical details. The 1979 one-penny coin was struck in bronze and alloy, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It has a diameter of 20.3 mm, a thickness of 1.52 mm, and weighs 3.56 grams. The edge is plain, as is standard for this denomination. The bronze composition gives the coin a rich reddish-brown appearance when new, although over time, the surface tends to darken or develop patina due to oxidation of the copper content. These physical characteristics made the coin robust and suitable for high-volume circulation. The Royal Mint produced the 1979 one-penny coin in extremely high numbers, with a mintage exceeding 800 million coins for circulation, reflecting the high demand for low-denomination coins in everyday British commerce at that time. The coins were minted using high-speed presses to ensure uniformity and meet economic needs. Additionally, a smaller quantity of proof coins was struck for collectors as part of official proof sets, which exhibited a superior finish with mirror-like fields and sharp details. Circulation and economic role. During the late 1970s, the one-penny coin played a vital role in the United Kingdom's monetary system. It was frequently used for everyday retail transactions, public transport fares, and small-scale vending purchases. The penny was considered a practical and necessary denomination, and most households had a large quantity of them in circulation or in savings jars. Because prices at the time often included fractions of a pound, the penny's presence was essential for exact change. Collectability and numismatic value. From a collector's perspective, the 1979 one-penny coin is classified as a common date due to its massive mintage. Circulated examples hold minimal numismatic premium, often valued at face value. However, coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially those preserved in original mint packaging, can attract modest premiums. Proof strikes from official sets are more desirable to numismatists, often fetching higher values depending on their condition. As with all coinage, rare varieties, minting errors or off-center strikes can significantly raise collector interest. The year 1979 marked a period of significant change in the UK, with Margaret Thatcher becoming Prime Minister, ushering in a new era of economic policy and political reform. Despite these shifts, the one-penny coin remained a stable and familiar element of British daily life. It also reflected the early maturity of the decimal system, which by this time had become fully integrated into commerce and society. The coin serves as a small but tangible artifact of the era's economic landscape. The 1979 penny is part of the bronze series of one-penny coins, which lasted until 1992. In that year, due to rising copper prices, the Royal Mint transitioned the penny to a copper-plated steel composition, which was lighter and magnetic. As a result, all pennies from 1971 to 1992, including the 1979 issue, are non-magnetic and slightly heavier than their modern counterparts. Collectors often group them as a distinct Bronze Era series. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.